Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, hi, my name is Sydney. I film beauty videos 3 days a week, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Today's video is going to be a video that is inspired by the wonderful Kelly Gooch. Of course, I will link her channel down below if you guys haven't already seen her, but she has started this series on her channel where she just kind of takes some new releases, not necessarily eyeshadow palettes or cheek palettes, but just new releases in general, and kind of broadly shops her stash for similar products. And I love that series so much. She does a similar dupe series where she goes really in depth, kind of like I do in my Shop My Stash for Dupes videos, and she really dupes things shade for shade. This video is a little bit broader. It's a little bit like, hey, this is a similar concept, so do I really need both? And I thought that was a really healthy exercise for me to do for myself and for you guys. So I picked out a couple things kind of off Trend Moods page that really caught my eye, and I kind of dug through my collection and found some similar things, and I kind of wanted to show you guys what I came up with on camera, because you may own these things, you may be lusting after these other things, you may be on a low buy or no buy, you're not really supposed to be buying makeup, or you might just really want to shop your stash. So I thought it would be really helpful for all of us all around, and I'm going to stop babbling and we're going to hop into this video. So the first product that I want to talk about is a little bit old now, which is a little bit frightening because I think it's only been out for like maybe a month. I started making this list quite a long time ago, and that is the Kim K So Fire eyeshadow palette. First of all, the packaging and the marketing on this entire collection is beautiful. I really am not a big fan of the Kardashians, but I'm sorry if you guys can hear that motorcycle outside. I'm really not the biggest fan of the Kardashians, but I cannot deny that this packaging, this whole collection is stunning. But like most of the other Kim KW collections, I don't feel like they're that unique to my collection. I don't feel myself needing to run out and buy them. And to dupe her palette specifically, I dug out my Morphe 35M Boss Mood palette. This is going to be a recurring palette in this video, just be forewarned. But I picked this one out because it has those really beautiful kind of fiery orangey tones over here. It also has those beautiful kind of cranberry tones over here. It has your basic neutral browns. I thought it really did cover kind of the scope of the Kim KW palette very well. And it's something that I already own, so that's even better. I will say that I do like that the Kim KW palette is a little bit sleeker, a little bit slimmer. Honestly, I'm not really reaching for my Morphe palettes anymore because they're so big. There's so many options, it just kind of overwhelms me. I really do find that I'm reaching for my smaller palettes more often. Next thing I wanted to mention is the Soul Dry Body Oil. This is... there goes my background. Alright, we've fixed the background, hopefully no more falling anymore, but as I was saying, I want to talk about the Soul Dry Body Oils next. These are beautiful, you guys, and I'm not a body oil, like body shimmer, body product kind of girl. Usually I just kind of skip those because it's kind of a lot of maintenance for me. I usually like to just kind of run out the door. Occasionally, like if I'm going on a date or I just want to look really like sparkly and glowy and pretty, this kind of product does appeal to me a little bit, but at first, when I was going to come on here and tell you guys about these products, I was like, oh, I'll just tell them to like take an oil or a lotion, mix in a pigment. But then I remembered that I got these Cover FX custom glitter drops in my BoxyCharm a couple of months ago. And these have just been sitting in my collection. I'm like, wait, aren't these like the same exact thing? So I am going to use these instead of the Soul Dry Body Oil, and I even found a dupe. I don't really know if it's a dupe, but I feel like this will totally work for the brush that it comes with. This is the e.l.f. powder brush. I believe this is like $3 at Target. Go get yourself one of these. I think the ColourPop one is only like $12, but still. So I did want to kind of do like a little test job, like a little test run on camera. I'm not going to put it on my chest because I really like this shirt and I don't want to get like glitter on it. So we're just gonna do it on my arm. I'm just gonna do a couple drops on my arm. Oh, that's very metallic. Oh, I'm nervous now. And I'm just going to kind of buff that in with the brush. Why am I doing this with my left hand? This would work so much better with my right hand. And maybe with just my hand. So that's the effect that I'm kind of getting with the glitter drops. I'm sorry, you guys can't see this. So we're going to try it on my other arm this time so I can use my right hand and maybe this will go a little bit smoother. We're going to get some more of the custom cover drops. Do a little drop. And then I'm going to take my e.l.f. brush. Okay, I feel like these have a little bit more of a base pigment. Well, not really when you buff it out. Then the Soul Drops. Ooh, we are very shimmery. I don't know, I feel like that gives a really pretty glow. For me, only really using a product like this every once in a great while, I feel like this is a really great option versus running out and spending $15, $12, however many dollars it is on the Soul Dry Body Oil. Now excuse me while I go wipe the glitter off my arm before I get it all over myself in my apartment. This next product that I'm going to mention is a little bit of a shameless plug, I'm not going to lie you guys, but like I said, I made this list a couple weeks ago and I was approached by one of my friends, Alexandria, here on YouTube, and she said, hey, do you want to do a collab where we dupe the Natasha Denona Mini Tropic palette? And I'm like, yeah, I was already going to do that. So I actually did do a whole video on it. If you guys are interested in that, I'll link it down below. But I was definitely able to dupe this one with my collection, and in doing so, I just immediately talked myself out of it because I realized that this palette, it's not like a color story that I totally love. It was definitely workable. I even created a look with it that I can insert right here, which I thought was really pretty. But I feel like it's just not the palette for me, and I'm okay with that. I'm glad I kind of got it out of my system. I think I was just buying it, wanting to buy it because it was the Natasha Denona formula, and I'm dying to try that. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to buy the Sunrise palette next time Sephora has a sale. So I'm super excited about that one. Ooh, next one that I wanted to touch on, which I'm actually super excited about and I probably will buy in the future, just not right now, are the ColourPop Just a Tint lip crayons. These are soft, sheer, moisturizing lippies from ColourPop. They can definitely be built up to be a little bit more full color, but they do kind of start out sheer, and I love a good sheer lip product, you guys. Like, that's all I've been rocking lately because it's so low maintenance, it's so fuss free. And to kind of tide myself over until I want to buy those, I have these Buxom Lip Balms. These are their Powerful Plump Lip Balms, and I got these in a set at Christmas time last year. It was an amazing deal. I think it was like 12 bucks, and I got 4 different shades. The 2 shades that I have right here are Big O, which is like that clear balm that turns into like a bright pink on your lips, and then I have the shade Fiery right here, which is a beautiful soft red shade. I have 2 other shades, one that's more of like a medium pink and one that's more of a berry, but those are in my purse right now. I love them so much, so that's what I'm using right now to kind of tide myself over for these ColourPop lippies because I know they're going to be right up my alley, but I need to wait. I need to use up what I have before I buy those. The next product that I want to talk about is a very surprising dupe to me because it's one that I looked at and I immediately thought like, oh, this is so unique to my collection. Then I started thinking, I'm like, you know what? I think I have something that could really easily dupe that. And I'm talking about the Ofra Island Time palette. This is a gorgeous palette. It contains 3 blushes and it contains 4 blushes and a beautiful golden highlighter. And to dupe that, I actually have my e.l.f. Modern Metals palette. You're gonna look at this and be like, Sydney, how do you think those are even remotely similar? But just hear me out. If you cover up that bright pink blush and the Ofra palette, I think that these are very similar tones. There's kind of a soft brick shade. This one's a little bit more muted than the one in the Ofra palette, but we're gonna look past that for just now. There's kind of a beautiful mauve pink shade and then a gorgeous kind of soft corally shade that I just absolutely love. This palette even has a soft gold highlighter, and I think that's enough similarities to tide me over from buying this one. I'm not saying I'll never buy it, but for now I'm going to stick with this one. Too Faced has once again released the Gingerbread Palette, and while I think this palette is gorgeous and something that I would absolutely love to death, I also think that I have 2 palettes that are very comparable, and those are just the palettes that I thought of right off the bat. I'm sure I own more in my collection. The first one being Modern Renaissance, and the second one being that Morphe 35M Boss Mood palette. So I feel like the really standout shades in the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette are the really pretty pink shade and the gorgeous orange. Both of those shades are in the Modern Renaissance palette. I think they're in a little bit more of a muted capacity in this palette, but you can still get a very similar look on the eyes, maybe even something that's a little bit more wearable. And I feel like those shades definitely exist in the 35M Boss Mood palette, maybe even in that brighter capacity. This kind of berry shade right here definitely comes off a little bit punchier on the eyes, and this orange is definitely very vibrant, very in your face. This one also has some of the key neutrals that are in that palette, some of the darker jewel tone metallic shades that that palette has, so I think I can safely say no to that one as well. This next one may be a little bit of a stretch, but Kelly did something similar in her video, and I'm like, you know, I think that's a great idea. I think we should start thinking about complexion products in this way too. And the next product that I'm going to talk about is the new Dose of Colors Meet Your Hue foundation. The claims for this foundation are medium to full coverage, natural matte finish, high pigment, light wear, long wear, and delivers a blurring effect. This is also an oil-free foundation, and the one that I immediately thought of that's in my collection is kind of disgusting, I'm sorry, but it's the Maybelline Superstay foundation. I was just watching a video where Emily Noel was raving about this foundation, and I think as I was watching that video, I was flipping through Instagram and I came across a post that was on this foundation. I'm like, you know what? Those claims sound awfully similar. And Emily was kind of describing what it does for her skin, how it wears for her, and she's like, and I'm like, I wonder if those would be very similar. So I probably will not buy another full coverage foundation until I finish this one up anyways, but it was a great reminder for me to shop my stash. So that's actually going to wrap this video up, you guys. I really hope that you found it helpful. If you enjoyed this kind of broader shop my stash type video, make sure to leave me a comment and let me know down below so I keep making them. I really enjoyed it. I kind of do this, well, I try to do this kind of on my own, even if I don't film it on camera, because it's just a really good exercise to do. I hope you guys do this with your own collection. If you sit down and do it with me while you film this video, let me know in the comments. That just like warms my heart. That makes my day when anyone leaves the comment that they're shopping their stash along with me. It just makes me really happy because that's what I'm shifting my aim of my channel to be. Well, I don't know if it ever wasn't that, but I want to help you guys learn to love your stash as I learn to love my stash, as I learn to be more selective with what I'm bringing into my stash. I just think it's really important that we are aware of how much we have and kind of use it and love on it. So that's going to wrap this video up, you guys. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below. I will link all of my other shop my stash type videos down below. This is the first really broad one that I've done, like I said, but those ones are a little bit more specific if you like more specific dupes. But that's going to wrap this one up, so I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!